Hey, Don here. Okay, well, I was getting ready for my stream, and let's see if I can get it set back up. I'm all mixed up tonight, but let me just show you, and I'll try to go into it. I'll have to realign it. I had it all lined up. On one. Okay, that was the that one's not even on right now. Cam 3, which is for this wireless mic. That's all I use it for, is a wireless mic. Okay, so I had that all set up and use that sticky note as a background because my desk is so worn there. It looks terrible. You can't see what you're looking at, but my lapel mic, I noticed in my last video, was making some noise when I moved certain ways. And I thought, well, darn it, maybe the wires are, breaking. Usually they break about right there. They usually break inside the insulation about right there or right there. Try to get something that's a little more pointy than my finger. Sometimes, somewhere between right up inside there, that's the strain relief right there, and the jacket for it. Right there, exactly where that is, they'll break. But I've tried to be careful with it and not bend it a lot. And this one hasn't been bent a lot. Now the other end stays in my little case. Let's just move it off of there. And that was that was kind of something I thought, okay, it's bent. As you can see, it stays in my little case that I wear on my hip, around on my hip. And see, now over time, that right there, it might, very often will break. Well, if this doesn't, sometimes that'll break the strain relief, but a lot of times that, the wire will break inside the insulation or right there if it's being done like that a lot. But it does just stay that way. It doesn't get moved back and forth, It doesn't get moved back and forth like that. I can't kind of show it, but like that. And see, the reason I've got it in there, well, I keep it in a big plastic holder. It's put away right now, but this is so long. See, this adapter that you have to use to make it work. That came with the phone, I mean with the phone, with the mic, lapel mic. It works, and it'll work with a lot. I'm sure it'll work with a lot of different types of phones, because it comes with this. It's a TRRS, but I guess there's a lot of different pinouts for TRRS, and so this one adapts it to exactly what mine is. And I just figured that out by trial and error. Anyway, back to the noise. I thought, okay, maybe, but I don't think it's the wire, because and sometimes they'll get pulled on, even though they, maybe the strain. Sometimes there's not any. Okay, look, like this, and this is the typical case these days. They put it through there, but there's nothing to hold it. See, nothing to keep it from you pulling. There's that. Oh no, I'm wrong. Sometimes there's nothing. This one does have one. That's a strain relief. That is like tight to the wire. It's either just a real tight fit or it's even kind of glued on. I don't know. I'm not going to try to get it off of there. So it hits the bottom of the barrel there and keeps you from pulling on the solder joints. And that's when your solder joints will break, when you don't have any, or you don't have adequate strain relief, or you just don't have any at all. I've seen a lot of things these days that don't have it. And so anyway, I got it apart real easy. It just, the head screws off. I've got the windscreen still on the head, and I just didn't want to take it off because it's pretty good tight fit, and I don't want to tear it or or stretch it, getting it on and off. So I just left it. But the first thing I noticed was that head was actually a little loose. And so that might have been what was. I'm hoping that's all that it was making the noise. When I got it apart, this screen was, it goes up in here, inside. This was wrapped around this foam, which is all expanded now. It was wrapped around this part right here to kind of keep that still. If I could get in keep it still. So I was trying to slide it back down there, and I was just going to put it back together, and I thought, well, maybe I'll make a video. And then I thought, oh, this is going to be harder to get back together than I thought. And then I realized, oh, this wire, that's just screen wire. I mean, it's a small, fine screen wire. It's like basically about like it's smaller than what you would get in your kitchen window, but your screen door. But that's what it is. So I was like, how did they get that in there? Because I was trying to slide it, and it was just catching on that screen wire, and there was no way, you know. So finally I realized, oh, this screen wire split. And so this is actually made the way I like things to be made, where you can take them apart and put them, you know, fix them and put them back together. I was surprised. I figured it was molded and it could never be fixed. And the wires, I figured that wire in there would be so tiny that there was no way that. I've seen them so small inside of some headsets and stuff, and not little earbuds, but you know, like headsets with a mic boom. You know, I've seen them so small that you couldn't. There's no way you could fix them. You know, once the wire broke like that, because you can't even with magnifying glasses. You can hardly see it. You can't solder. It's too tiny. It break when you heat it up soldered. It just breaks. So. I mean, of course, it was done once originally, so you're gonna have to be a professional, I guess, to do it. And I've been fixing junk like that since I was a little kid back in the '60s, you know. But things were not so tiny and not so hard to work on back then. I think what I'm gonna have to do. I'm looking at it instead of in the preview because that's what I'm used to doing, you know, looking at the actual object. But I'm trying to use the preview up there to help me see. That was the reason I decided to stick the endoscope up in front of it, or stick it over the endoscope. And I'm going to spread out this screen, and I just don't know. I don't know if this. I think maybe I wouldn't think, you know what, I don't know if that metal goes, if the mic itself, the mic head goes, I don't think that would be a good idea. It's not going to be noisy that way. I think maybe that foam was to keep the mic head from touching that metal or any of the rest of it. So I'm going to leave it back off of it and see if that works. This is going to be a real trial and error. Could be a lot of error. Because if you screw this down and it hits the mic head, then it'll be noisy. It was so close that I couldn't see it. Well, I wasn't thinking to look. You know, when I opened it up, well, what I did was I pushed on the wire, and it just popped the mic head out of the barrel, you know, out of here, which was the way to get it apart. But I didn't inspect it real close, or I didn't think about it. I was just acting on an impulse. I had not set out to be taking anything like this apart. I was just trying to make a live stream. Okay, let's see now if I can squeeze that up. Yeah, now this is where I'm going to have to use this preview here to see that I'm getting it small enough to go in there. I should have done double scenes, I guess. It's probably pretty hard to look at that close up that much. Okay, I think am I beginning to get it in there? Okay, there we go. Now my foam looks to me like it's, let's see, it's sticking out too much, I think. Yeah, I think it won't let it go together. I need to get a small screwdriver, I think, and try and, that's a Phillips. I think I've got either too big or too. Wait, maybe that'll. No, I think the littler one might be better. Yeah. Oh, there we go. I don't know. We'll try that one. Let's see. I'll try to poke that all in there so that it's not making it too big, or too big to go in there. That's a pretty. Of course, the screen itself can squeeze up, but there we go. I may have it sticking up too much. I think I do. I think maybe it's really meant to be. Oh, maybe not. Okay, that would make sense. Now, if that's got that there to kind of be a shock mount, this is what I'm guessing. From what I've seen with big expensive mics with a shock mount, a condenser mic with a shock mount, that looks to me like maybe that's its shock mount. It was really good. It never made noise before until this last video. And I hope all it was is because that was loose. And you see, this threaded right there, and then this cap is threaded inside there. Just a fine machine thread. So I won't know until I turn it on, really. I don't know if it's going on there or not. No, it wasn't starting up. Let's see if there's something in the way. I think it's not reaching. I think that screen is all the way down in there as far as it can go. Or maybe it wasn't. I'm using my thumbnail as to push it with. But you don't want to push too hard. This stuff is pretty soft and easy to mess up. So I may have to restart over. I think I am going to need to take this off. Yeah, now I can see what I'm doing. I don't know, maybe I'm getting somewhere. But if it's not supposed to be touching that cap, then I've already messed up. I think it, I mean, you don't want it more than that, finger tight, but no, I'm going to try it like that, because how else are you going to know unless you try it? That might be just what we want. So, put these up, put my little windscreen over there. I already lost one of the windscreens. It came with two, luckily. Alright, now let me get my phone. If I can get it without tearing up the world. Well, let me switch scenes so you can see both. There we go. Oh, yeah, I don't have the camera aimed down. Well, here's what I'm doing. I can't get up. I'm trapped here. Cam 2 is aimed at the monitor, zoomed in, and it's darkened down where you wouldn't be able to see anything. But anyway, this bag here, this thing you wear around your waist, is what I used to, hold it. And then this is what I used to hold the phone. Right here. That's the phone, and it's for my VR. I bought the little VR headset with actually in mind of putting that VR headset on and shooting video like that. You can do it, but I can't. My eyes can't stand it. Oh, it makes me want to throw up. So I just thought it was only $13, but that's actually almost made it worth it. That thing is, since I ended up getting, later I got this. And see, you can't use it like that without breaking you're going to end up breaking your connector. So, I got to have it sitting down on the desk to put it in there. Put it in there, and it's made for this, see? Can you, there, right there, yeah. It protects it and keeps it from going, getting bent on, even in, and with it in there, it doesn't fall out. It will fall out of here because it's meant to be slid up in the headset, and so it would fall out of here pretty easily if it wasn't that it was in that bag. So I just put it in that bag, and this side faces out, and this side faces towards me. It's worked out real good. Okay, so now let's get this. Just leave that all right there, and I'm going to start up the phone, and then I'll switch over to the once I get it serving up. So that's how I get my video and audio. is through this app called IP Webcam. And on this one, you can do audio and video, just video, or just audio. So I do just audio. And so now it's serving up audio. So now I can switch to, I'll switch to both for a second. Okay, that should be both of them. I guess I didn't hit the right key. Okay, here we go. Okay, now that's probably both of them. Check 1, 2, check. No, not getting it. Oh yeah, you had to switch scenes and then go back. So you'll get a bad echo of both of them for a minute there, and then it'll. Okay, what's that? Okay, there's my monitor. That. See, endoscope. Are we getting them both now? Check. Yeah. Okay. Now we'll mute the SM58. Okay, now we're just the lapel mic. And let's see. There we go. Alright, now I'll tap on it and see if it's extremely loud or what. Wiggle the wire, and if you get a bunch of static and pops, then I did not succeed. Okay, now let me hold it up here and talk on it. Okay, now right here's where I would be wearing it. Let me put it, I'm just going to put it on. Can't really move that too much, or it falls when I go that far. So where that is kind of where it needs to stay. Move it anyway. Okay, now there, I found a happy medium. It'll probably, if it falls, it'll just lay it on me. Okay, so now we're only talking on the wireless. Right, yep. Okay, now I'm going to wiggle the wire. And I can't hear it, so I don't know what's going to happen until I listen back to it. So, and there's not really a way. With OBS Studio, you can't monitor your, I can hear it. I can do it that way. It's actually over there playing and I never stopped it. It'll be on a delay, but let's just, I can hear it on the laptop. With OBS Studio, you can't monitor your, I can hear it. I can do it that way. It's actually over there playing it. I'm watching it. It'll be on a delay, but let's just, I can hear it on the laptop. So far behind, I was trying to wait for it to catch up so I could try testing and listening, but I think it's going to take too long. So far behind, I was trying to wait for it to catch up so I could try testing and listening. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wiggle the wire again. I'm afraid that it's just as bad as it was the last video, or worse. Okay. Okay, now I'll quit messing with it and we'll see. Huh. Actually, I think I was making it feedback. What it was doing. Oh yeah, through the laptop probably. But I'm playing it on the laptop. So, yeah, it's feeding back. Okay, I'm gonna stop that. Yep, it was feeding back. Okay, so it must be good. So I'm gonna call that a success. Let me wiggle it one more time before I quit. And that's wiggling the wire, and now I'll tap on the head of the microphone. And I'll put the windscreen back on it later. I guess I won't even put it back on until I listen. I'm gonna have to watch this video back and see if I succeeded. So maybe I did. Hopefully, I think really all that it was making it do that popping noise is the cap was loose. It was pretty loose. I think it was loose enough that it was making noise. It was moving when you jiggled anything, you know. Because it hasn't been noisy. I've actually never caught it making any pops or crackles or anything until yesterday. So I'll check that video out. I wanted to do it live so it'd already be uploaded, you know. And there you go. There's how to get apart at least one model of these lapel mics. Get them. Or that's how to get it back together. It's a pretty tricky little thing. Small stuff. That endoscope for me helped a lot. There's that certain point to where I just couldn't see, without something to really make it bigger. Keep wanting to talk to the mic even though it's not on. But okay, this is gonna be the end of this stream, but I'm planning on coming back here in a little bit with the computer back on the AS Rock testing with the big new power supply in it to see if it's how that thing's working. All right, this is Don. I'll be back later.